Hey everybody, welcome back to All I Can Be. Jump in. Today's episode 10, and it is Eat or Drink Your Protein. All right, so I looked it up to make sure I gave you a better definition than I could have gave you straight up. Protein is or molecules that support everything your body does. Simpler, protein is considered the building block of life. Protein is made of amino acids. Now, the foods that have the highest content of protein that you probably want to eat is things like beef, poultry, fish, eggs, dairy, soy, quinoa. I always say that wrong, but I think it's quinoa, and buckwheat. So now out of that list, beef is the last that I would eat. Actually, beef I probably maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks or something like that, because of the high cholesterol and such or whatever. But I don't eat a lot of beef. Okay, mostly I probably mostly eat fish and chicken. But those are the high protein yielding meats that you want to eat. But don't forget about your vegetables. Vegetables has protein as well, and also eat your fiber. All this stuff is healthy for your body to function properly. Okay, so um, you need protein, whether you building muscles or you're just trying to maintain your muscle as you get older. Your muscles going to start to deteriorate. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure you get enough protein. Now, there's a lot of different measurements out there that tell you how much protein you should actually take, depending on your age and what you're trying to do. Uh, I think it has something to do with weight as well in kilograms versus uh, pounds and such. But look it up and you'll find out exactly how much, or at least close to how much you should be taking in protein on a daily basis. Okay. So for me, my protein intake is 150 grams to 200 grams a day. Okay. So I try to make sure I get that because I don't want my muscles to deteriorate as I get older, and neither should you. Okay, it make you frail, and if you fall down and you ain't got no muscle tissue to cushion you, you might break them their bones of yours. Okay, so we have to make sure that we eat our protein, especially as you get older. Um, the more the reason why I eat my protein is because I want to look like I'm fit still, and I think that's actually um, more pleasant to look at than people just got skin hanging off them and no muscle tissue. It also makes people look at you and say, "Well, he's not an easy target because he looked like he might be fit enough to take me on or kick my ass or something." So anyway, so it has to do for me. It has to do with health and survival. Okay, because you want to survive in the world. So some people just look at you and think they can take you, but and some look at you and say, "No, I can't take that guy." But anyway, so that's the reason why I eat my protein to be healthy and survival. Okay. Um, and I think that the other thing is that for me, when I eat my protein is I just don't think I like the idea of looking frail and easy to break. As I grew up, and throughout my life, I've always been called skinny. So it bothered me a little bit, but not much. But nowadays, I'm thinking about it call me skinny. But what I have is not fat and it's not skinny. So I think I'm fit. So anyway, that's pretty much it for the protein. Just eat your protein or drink your protein or both. I do both. I eat and I drink my protein. So there you have it. So I'm gonna leave you with a little story before I cut you loose here. And story is for people that do know me or listen to my podcast early on, you know that I was in the 82nd Airborne Division. I was a paratrooper jumping out of airplanes with all this gear on and all that stuff. So we was on a training mission at Fort Polk, and people who've been to Fort Polk know what I'm talking about. and they would tell you that uh, that's a training event that's really challenging. Okay, so in this event, we was jumping out to go into the field and start evaluations and stuff like that, and we was on the plane, and the plane was really, I mean, I've never been on a plane. I'm talking about jumping out of a plane when doing my jumps. Never been on a plane that had so much turbulence and so much stuff going on with it that was just crazy. So I was on the plane, I'm hooked up, ready to go out the door, and then suddenly the plane just goes, it dropped. It was like, what the hell happened? A lot of people just went to their knees because it was just like a sudden drop. And come to find out, the plane actually got straight directly behind another plane, which they're supposed to be flying staggered, but this plane got directly behind that one. Our plane got directly behind that plane in front of us, and it caught a jet wash and lost its engines. But they got the engines back course when we got back on course. I mean, it happened so quick that you probably would not have noticed if you went on that plane. But anyway, it happened fast. But anyway, so um, it was time to go get ready to go out the door. They finally said, let's get out the door." Because I was thinking, let me get the hell off this plane before it crash or something. Because these jokers don't know how to fly this plane. And case in point was, I was sitting there listening when I was loading up on the plane. I heard the one guy, load masters or whatever they were, the Air Force guys. They was saying something about, "Have you ever did this before?" The other guy said, "No, I ain't never did it." "You did it?" He said, "I ain't never did it either." I'm thinking at that time, what the hell's going on? These guys don't even know how to do this. So what kind of trouble we gonna be in? And it showed. So anyway, I was ready to go out the door, and going out the door, you have to get a jump master, the guys who's in charge of getting you out the plane and stuff. You have to hit their hand with your stag line, and that way they got it, and it's in control. And you bring your hand back down, and you put your hand on your reserve chute, and you jump out the door, walk out, or whatever, whichever one plane you on. And I got there, and this guy was, I ain't talking about short people, because I ain't that tall myself. But this guy was real short. And as a jump master or assistant jump master, whichever one he was, he was, looks like he was struggling with the static lines. And I was like, oh shit, really? So I just made sure he had mine. He had it. I'm good to go. Okay, I'm going out the door. But then when I bring my arm back down to put my hand on my reserve chute as I go out, assume my uh, body tight position, I had caught a static line, one of those loose ones that was flopping around, and it caught me and spit me all the way around. And I had these twisters in my riser. My riser was all twisted up. They teach you how to do a bicycle kick to get your riser untwisted, but my shoulder was killing me because that static line had ripped. I don't want to say ripped, but it just tore my shoulder almost out of socket or something. And good thing I didn't get the worst part of that, because the worst part, if it was that worse, then it would have took my muscles, the bicep and tricep, and just pulled them down towards your elbow, and it'd been looking all funny. I'm sure that looked nasty and everything, but that didn't happen. So I don't know if because my arm was strong enough, had enough muscle tissue there, uh, or in my arms. I'm not sure, but I wasn't skinny and I wasn't bony up there. So it must have been the muscle tissue was strong enough to withstand the pull on that static line like it did. So after I landed and I struggled to get to my assembly point, and once I got there, I got the medics to take a look at me and say, yeah, you had a static line injury. We can check it out. We'll look at it a little bit here, and it's not that bad, so you're good to go. So and I made it through the rest of the exercise without too much pain, but that was it. I mean, it happened though. um, so um, I survived. I made it. I didn't get torn get my thing all torn down and everything, so it was good to go. All right, hey, that's all I got for you guys. Take care of yourself and be safe out there. Oh, and by the way, watch out for that hunter virus. It's out there. They may say that it's not uh, that dangerous, don't spread like that. I don't trust nothing. COVID started out kind of slow too, and it just blew up. So you guys be careful out there. Take care of yourself and have a airborne day.